Last time we started with a very simple story. Can anyone remind us in the chat box what was the story that we went through? Quick, 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 quick. Because we're building on knowledge from the last time that we were here. What was the story we went through? Because it links to the issue of purpose. And this, for any believer, any Christian, the issue of purpose is a very clear thing. And anyone remember? My friend, student-led movement Kenya, the parable of the talents. Thank you very much. What were the lessons we picked from it? Lesson number 1. When they received the talents, the money, because when people hear talents, they hear kipawa. No. They received money. Go and do something for me. What was it that they got? This is revision, guys. What was the thing that we learned from the one who received 5? What was his defining initial action? Does anyone remember? I shouted at you many times. In fact, it was my closing statement. Okay, Winnie, thank you for that. That was the issue of the master.
Went at once.
So, thank you.
He went at once.
He went out at once. Stop wasting time. And he put it to work. And he did what he could with what he had. Thank you so much. Winnie was remembering the issue of each according to his ability. And that was the master who accords us. And if you remember, many times, many of us are praying for more, but you don't know the responsibility that comes with the more that you're asking for. I told you, I'm at peace. I thank God with the responsibility I've been given, because when I watch other CEOs out there and I watch other people in, what was that story we were listening to just now? High pressure environments, who cannot leave work until what time? Who cannot do, I'm good. I'm good with the ones God has given me so far. So let's be happy with that even as we go into this space. Is that okay? So the last part, what did you learn about the reward? Does anyone remember what we learned about the reward? Because many times we think that the reward for somebody who was given many talents and the one who was given few talents, can we even ever get to the same level? Can we even get to the same place? What was the reward, friends? Guys, are you there? Or am I the one who's off? Yeah. Okay. Guys, can you hear me? The reward was no, Winnie. Winnie, in fact, you have gone opposite to the story. If you go, Winnie, to the section in Matthew 25, and you see what happened to the one who received 2 talents and the one who received 5 talents, you will see that the reward was the same for faithfulness with what God has given you. In faithfulness for what God has given you, the reward was the same. And that really changed my whole mindset. Because when I began to think that, oh my goodness, if I'm given 5 talents, oh, that person has an ability to grow. No. The one who was given 2, the reward was the same. So I encourage you where you are at this point. What God has given you, be faithful in that. Because if you're faithful at it, the reward is the same. Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share in your master's happiness. The reward was the same. So are you being faithful with what God has given you now? That's my question. Are you? Okay, very good. I need to do a quick poll. I don't know if we can run a poll here, or raise your hand if you are in business, because we were not able to cover the issue of business. And I found that this is, as I said last time, this is an area of my passion. I really love talking about business because I think if we can get business right here in Kenya, here in Africa, it will make a huge difference as far as our work is concerned. So can we just raise our hands, as many as are in business or would like to be in business as possible, so we have an idea of what is going on there. Only 5 people are in business. Hey, okay. Out of almost, how many are we in this room? 200 of us. Or interested in business at all? Oh, so we are many. Okay, I see. I see. Good. Wonderful. So we'll talk a little bit about business and then take as many questions as we can, because one of the other issues we faced last time was that we didn't have any Q&A time. So we're going to do that as much as we can. So dear friends, allow me to reintroduce business to you. I hope you don't mind. Can I reintroduce business to you as I just remove my jacket over here? Can I reintroduce business to you, please? Can anyone who's brave enough, can they type in the chat box, please? What is the aim of business? What are you in business for? What are we in business for? In the chat box. Hey, people are actually serious. They know what they're talking about. So let me help you. Let me help you. All these things that are being listed here by others, they are good things, but they are not the aim of business. The aim of business is not to solve problems. It is not the aim. Stella, I like it and it makes sense. And the one who solves the most problems is likely to have a good business behind them. But that's not the aim of business. Stella and Ida as well. Mercy is saying money and solutions. I'm not sure that I fully agree with you yet. Magdalene is saying to solve a problem. No, 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 no. To earn. No, 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 no. So can I help you? Write this down. This is rule number 1 of business. In fact, it's actually the only rule. I have 2 rules because of the mistakes I made when I started business. And I found that many of lifting other people up. No, no, no. Chalo, please lift them up, but that's not the aim of business. Mongai, to fulfill my life's purpose. Wonderful, please do so, but that's not business. So please write this down. When I got this, it changed my life, and God willing, it'll change yours as well. The aim of every business. Write this down. This is rule number 1, and I'll give you rule number 2 too. That one, number 2, is for us Africans, like me, especially me, because I made that mistake early on. So rule number 1, let's go. The aim of every business is to generate and maximize profit. Please write that down. Please write. You see, because if you talk about purpose, lifting other people, see, that brings in NGOs, that brings in churches, that brings in self-help groups. All of those are lifting people up. But what distinguishes a business from all those things is this rule number 1. Write it down. The aim of, and can somebody please write it in the chat box? The aim of every business is to generate and maximize profit. That's it. That is it. If you get that right, you're in business. If you miss that, you are lifting people up, you are solving problems, you are helping the community, but you're not generating profit. You're not in business. You're in an NGO, you're in a non-governmental, you're in a non-profit. The aim of every business is to generate and maximize what? Profit. Now, here's the problem. Let me show you the problem. Can I show, let me open it up so that you can see. And obviously you can tell where I am at the moment because things have changed since we got in. But we continue. I'm telling you, so this is solving problems, but this is not business. Anyway, let's go on. So where was I? Here it is. Good, good, good. So there's a guy who I like to talk about. He has changed my life. His name is James. James is a baker. I know Okay, everybody, put your hands down. Put your hands down. Those who had their hands up, press the button again so your hands go down. James is my friend baker. That guy bakes amazing cakes. Amazing cakes. So when every time he would bring cakes to our place, you should sell. You should sell. So eventually, James went to the market, finds out cakes like mine. These are the best, right? They're not exactly like his, but some that are like his go for about 1,000 to 1,500 per cake. Okay, good. So James says, I'm entering the market. Let me enter at the lower end so that I can gather enough customers to be able to grow. That's James. Okay. Now, once James has done that, he said, I'm going to enter at 1,000. Now, James says, so if you can see this, this is what we call an income statement here, or this is what we call a profit and loss. Both mean the same thing. Okay. So at the top here, you can see cakes. Quantity, 1. If James sells 1 cake at 1,000, what is the total amount that is brought in to that business in terms of what we call revenue? It's 1,000 shillings. Okay. But you guys, come on, you're clever business people, aren't you? You know that 1,000 is not everything. James has to consider what are the cost of goods or the direct costs. Hey, can bakers in the house, what do you need? What are the things you need in order to bake? What materials do you need in order to bake? I'm sure I'm not a baker, but I've seen my daughter bake. I've seen my wife bake. Flour is there. Sugar is there. What else? Flour, sugar, flavors, eggs. Hey, thank you so much. Lucy, I knew it. Butter, flavoring, some dried fruits, all those things. Hey, and then do you just present a cake anywhere just like that? No. You need what? How do you present the cake? It comes in a what? In a box. It has, hey, bakers are in the house. Thank you so much to everybody who's recognized that. Good. Packaging material. Thank you, Jean. When James does his calculations, can you see how much all those things cost? For every 1 cake, the materials, the ingredients, the packaging, everything costs 500 shillings. So if he sells a cake at 1,000 and the cost of goods or the materials that go into that cake are 500, there's a difference between those, and that's 500. Dear friends, in the chat box, as quickly as you can, what do you call that 500? Please write quick. Guys, we have to be faster than that. What do we call the 500? People are making me happy here. Well done. What do we call that 500? So I've sold it for 1,000. It cost me directly 500. There's a difference between those two. It's 500. What do we call that? Okay. So I need to talk to my dear friend. You're able to switch on your microphone. Yes, Mungai.
Yes, Mr. Waithaka.
Hi, what's the S stand for?
Susan. Sorry.
Hi, Susan. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
Susan.
Yes.
Just look in the chat box and see how many people gave an answer like yours. Can you see? Someone said profit. Someone said cost of production. Many people have said profit. Aida has even said it is an expense. Weru has said margin. Can you see the issue? Somebody has even said this is who Juliet has said net revenue, profit margin. Why did I stop you, Susan? Because you got it right. But you can see how many of us, including Waithaka, including me, when I started my business, I thought that thing was called profit. I have made profit. But Susan, you recognize that it is not profit. Why? Why is it not profit?
It's not profit because other than the direct cost, there are other costs that go into this business, including the time of the baker, courier services to get that cake. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, to be fair, niko na Kenya. I'm in finance.
But let me tell you this, Susan. I'm right now in Mombasa. I'm going to teach accountants at East Park. Okay. I have
Oh, the
taught
training, the
accountants
practitioners next week.
today. I'm right here. There's one for I don't know which people. Accountants who have done CPAs cannot describe what profit is. Can you imagine that? They know how to balance the books, but the concept of profit, because you're supposed to be able to give advice to a business owners. Can you imagine that such a person cannot even describe what profit is? I've worked with accountants like that. Can you imagine? So Susan, it's not, don't think you got it right just because of Yukonamwa Kenya. No. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So everyone in the room, please type now into the chat box. This is not profit. Why? Because as Susan has said, there are other costs that are in this business that have not been accounted for here. Can we describe some of those costs in the chat box? Please write them down so that people can be able to see. Quick. Which other costs have we not considered? And Susan gave a few. Please put them there. Thank you. Now, all these costs that you're putting here, all of them that you have listed here, it is very difficult to separate and to say this amount of fuel went to one cake. This amount of gas went to one cake. This amount of transport went to one cake. This amount of, you can't, that it's too difficult. So what we do is we describe it now, dear friends, we describe it as what? We describe it as other costs, or what are other terms that we use? We call them overheads. We call them indirect costs. And if we don't account for them, dear friends, you are not in business. You're not. So can we do that now, if you don't mind, for a second? Okay, let's go step by step. So we said it's called gross profit or gross margin. The issue is gross. Why? Because there are some that are not accounted for yet. So let's go and give some examples here. So we call them other costs or operational costs, OPEX. Okay. So, number one, rent. Good. I knew it. I hope you can see it at the bottom there. Hello to all my work from home friends. I can see you there looking at me. Hi, work from home friends. How are you doing? You okay? Good. I work from home and therefore I have no rent cost. This is something I've heard so many times. I work from home, therefore I have no rent cost. Oh, so your home is free. Is it? Even if you own the place where you're working, the space in and of itself is not free. It is not. And failure to account for the cost of the space in which you're working is one of the biggest mistakes that you can make. Let me tell you why. Because I worked with many entrepreneurs over, this is now more than a decade of working with business owners. Many people, and I'm sure they're in this room, please confirm if you're one of those people. I started working from home, and then I moved to a shop or an office somewhere, and suddenly the mathematics started failing. What used to be profitable, in quotes, suddenly falls apart. Why? Because before you thought, just because I'm not paying a rent cost, that cost does not exist. They're here. They're in this room. I can see you. You don't have to say if you're the ones. But that's something that happens often. So whether you work from home or you have a place, there's a cost for the space that you work in. If you're working from home and you're saying, I'm not directly paying that rent, in your calculations, you put an estimate for the value of the space in which you're working, because that's an asset that you cannot do business without. Okay, so let's do some more. We do some more. Let's reveal some more things that are here. Things like utilities, friends. Do you use electricity? Do you use water? Do you use telephone? Do you use internet? Those things. Transport. Oh, but I'm not in a transport business. I'm not in logistics. No, my friend. You go to the bank, isn't it? You go and meet clients. There's always a transport cost, even if there's not one that is working in that business, even as you go. Marketing. Oh, I don't have marketing. I don't do ads. I don't do whatever. Oh, but you meet for clients in a coffee shop. Is that not marketing? Is that not a cost that the business is taking up? You drove to go and see potential buyers. You did all these things. And the one that people always forget. In this business, who came up with the recipe? Who baked the cake? I want an answer in the chat box. Who baked the cake? Who sold the cake? Who collected the money? Who did the accounting? Who did the planning? Who did the work that made this business function? In the chat box, please, can somebody tell me? It's the guy called James. He's the person. Failure to account for the cost of labor is one of the things that kills businesses. Why? Because this cake did not bake itself. This cake did not just suddenly come out of thin air, sell itself, and collect. And so, in order for a business to be profitable, it must also account for the cost of labor that goes into a business. Hands up, all the business owners in this room who are working but do not pay themselves a salary. I need to talk to one of you. Please, if you are willing, raise your hand. You are in this room. Yes, you are a business owner. You have been working, but you don't pay yourself a salary. We need to talk. Come on, guys. Anyone like that? Oh, are people shy today? Boy. Cynthia, are you responding me in the chat box or hey, was I too tough last week? Maybe people are a bit scared. Okay.
I can see
Niatore.
Naitore's hand is up.
Okay, Naitore, sorry, yes, Naitore, yes. Go ahead, Naitore. Talk to us, please.
Guilty as charged.
Naitore, tell us the story. What business are you in?
Where I
What business do you do?
Oh, yo, I'm a therapist.
Okay, tell us a little bit more.
So I work from home, quote unquote.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Everything you've said is just like wow. So I've been counting my profit as gross profit. And then wondering how come I'm not able to pay. Yeah, and then wondering how come I'm not able to pay myself. Like, I'm trying, but it's not mathing. Yeah. So then I'd said,
no, it's not.
Yeah, yes, it's not
Don't
mathing.
worry, I will answer that question for you. But I knew you were in the room. That's why I spoke to you.
Thank you,
sir.
So
my question is
appreciate it.
If you don't pay yourself a salary, if you don't, how do you live? Like, how do you buy food? How do you pay your rent? Naitore, I'm asking you, where did you go? Where did you go?
Oh, nimeanikwa sana, nimerudi to my home. Yeah,
So how do you pay for your life if you don't pay yourself a salary?
I use business money, clearly.
Oh, so you just take.
Yeah.
When you need. Oh. Wow. Susan, Madam Susan, accountant.
Yes.
Please help Naitore. What if you are working for Naitore and she just came and took money from, what would you do? What would you say she's doing?
Well, she's drawing from the business, she's draining the business, and the biggest gap of all, she's exposing herself to very big tax issues in case KRA were to come knocking at her door.
Susan, you're being too kind. Can I use the correct word?
Yes, please.
She is stealing from her own business.
True.
Okay.
Very true.
So here's the thing. Naitore will never be able to know if her business is profitable or not if she has not accounted for in this case, and it's especially because Naitore is in a service business. In a service business, the core cost of business of working is what?
She sells
Labor.
her time, yes.
Labor. And if she has not accounted for labor, same thing with James. Oh, but Naitore, don't worry, you're not alone. In this room, there's somebody else who owns a business, but they are telling themselves, oh, but you know, I'm not directly involved. I'm not the one doing the work. I own a bakery and I've got bakers there, I've got servers, I've got other people, I've got things. I'm not the one, so I can't pay myself a salary. See, they're in this room. See, they're here. Hi. Don't hide too much. Don't worry. We are helping you. To all those who say, but I'm not. Then my question, Mercy, you are here. Hi, Mercy. Tell us about your business. I told you, I knew, and I didn't plant these people. Hi, Mercy.
Hi.
Tell us about your business and how it is that you are not involved. So how can you take a salary?
I think sometimes I feel sorry for the business, so I'm like,
Tell us about the
yes.
business. What is it? What's the business so that we understand?
So I'm in HR consultancy. That's what I do. And so sometimes I'm not the one who's directly involved in making sure that the clients are sorted. Yes.
Okay.
So I'll just, yeah.
So can I show you how that doesn't work, Mercy? Let me explain. So Mercy,
Please.
think about a big company like Safaricom, KCB, whatever. In those companies, who gets paid the most? And guys, you can help us well in the chat box. Who gets paid the most?
The CEO.
Have you ever seen Peter Ndegwa in a Safaricom shop selling airtime? Have you ever seen him on a mast doing the engineering?
No.
So why is he paid the most? Why?
Because he's doing the brain work.
Which is what? Planning, strategy, resource allocation, raising capital, allocating those resources to the right places, isn't it? So my question to you, Mercy, is in your business, who does that?
I do.
Ati who? Sorry, did I hear that clearly?
I do.
So can everyone help Mercy? Who should be paid the most in her business?
Me.
Thank you. So again, many times, please, Mercy, so that you understand and everybody else, it's not that the business may be ready or have the ability to take out that cash all the time. And especially when you're starting out in business, you'll find yourself in a position where maybe you can't be able to draw the cash yet. But you must account for it. Because if you don't account, it is as if there's somebody in your business who is working and not being paid. Now, I don't know about you guys, but there's a name for somebody who works without being paid. I don't know. What is that name? There's a name. Does anyone know the name of somebody who is not a volunteer? You people are too kind. A slave. A slave works without pay. Stop being a slave in your own business, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. So, thank you guys. You guys are amazing. Susan, Mercy, Naitore, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. And hopefully it will help others to build even as we go. So watch this on the screen now. Watch this. I've taken this a bit too long. So the cost of running this business every month, these are monthly projections that are here. The cost of running this business every month, whether James sells a cake or not, can you see all of these things here? Is 50,000 shillings every month, whether James sells a cake or not. So can we tell the story of this business very quickly, very, very quickly? Now look at the real story of this business. In a month, where James only manages to sell one cake at 1,000 shillings. The business makes revenue of how much? 1,000. The cost of that cake, direct cost, materials, packaging, all that, is 500. There's a gross profit of how much? 500. All the other costs of running that business that month are how much? 50,000. So, in a month in which James only sells one cake, the business does not make 1,000, neither does it make 500. Can you see at the bottom there? Can people please write down what happens in this business that month? That month, what has the business made? And Susan will tell you what brackets mean. A net loss of how much? 49,500. Naitore, you are there. Talk to me, please. What must James do?
Sell more cakes.
Good. How many?
Actually, I think, well, many. They end up being too many if you still wants to sell them at 1,000 shillings.
Just say how many cakes must James make to
50.
make this business profitable. Let's do 50.
Profitable,
Thank you
more
so
than
much.
50.
Okay, more than 50 is 51. Let's do 51.
Okay.
So watch this on the screen, everybody. At 51 cakes, he brings in revenue because it's 51 times 1,000. He brings in revenue of what? 51,000 shillings. But those cakes had materials. Each cake had direct costs of how much? 500. When you talk about direct costs, it's like when you go to China and buy a pair of shoes at 2,000. That's the direct cost for that shoe. So you can't sell for less than that. That's why we generate the gross margin. So here, the cost of the materials, the flour, the what is how much? 500 per cake. But there are 51 cakes. So what is the total, Naitore, direct cost or the cost of goods? 25,500. So what is the gross margin or gross profit? 25,500. Good. But how much does it cost to run this business every month, whether he sells a cake or not? Naitore, how much does it cost? 50,000. So at 50 cakes, please, Naitore, I need you to see this because we were dealing with one another. I'm helping you.
Okay, so he needs to sell 101.
No. Let's look at it at the bottom there. It says this guy has lost how much that month?
24,500.
24,500. In his bank account, in fact, his banker will be calling him and saying, well done, we are seeing revenue, you can even take a loan. But has his business generated profit yet? No. All it has done is brought in cash called revenue. So I can see people have done the maths now in the chat. Hey, well done, mathematicians. How are you doing, guys? Very good. So as you said, let's go to 100 cakes. Watch this at 100 cakes. 100 cakes. 100 cakes means that he sold 100 cakes at 1,000 bob, which means he brought in revenue, cash, 100,000. But how much did the cakes cost to produce? The direct costs, the materials, everything? 50. So what was the gross profit or the gross margin? 50. But how much does it cost to run this business, whether he sells a cake or not? The indirect costs, the operational costs, 50. So how much has this business made this month? In the chat, please. Zero. Now watch this, dear friends. Thank you to everybody who is writing the correct answer in the chat box. We are getting it. This is called the break-even point of a business. Now, the problem with this terminology is that break-even is used in business and it is also used in investments, and we often mix the stories there. In this room, listening to me, is somebody who believes in their heart that the break-even point is when I get back the money that I invested in my business, isn't it? Hi, guys. Tell me, just be honest. There's somebody who said, I will break even. I have invested 100,000 in this business. When the business pays me 100,000 is when I've broken even. Wrong, 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 wrong. That was what Waithaka used to think. I told you I know these things because I did them. It is not. That has got a different terminology when it comes to business. It's return on investment, which is very different. But business owners don't look at that. Business owners look for what? Profitability. Are we together? This business, the way it is right now, having made zero, I would invest in it. As an investor, I would invest. Why? Because it has shown the ability to generate. And it is at the break-even point where it's covering all its costs. Let's make this even tougher now. Can I ask a question, guys? This month that James was able and his bakery was able to produce 100 cakes and sell them, the way it is here on the screen, how much did James make this month? How much did James make? Hey, guys in the house, are we together? Weru! The business made zero, but James went home with 40K. Well done. The business made how much? Zero. But James went home with how much? 40K. Good. Okay. Let's take this a level further than this. Does anyone remember rule number 1? Mercy, are you there? What was rule number 1 of business, Mercy?
Pay yourself first.
I know. Today, just today, I said, James, ati anateseka. No. James is fine. James is doing well. The aim of every business is to generate and maximize profit. So, Mercy, look at James's business here on the screen. Has he achieved rule 1 of business?
No, he hasn't.
Has not. So what does he have to do? In fact, don't answer Mercy. I want to hear from Andrew. Mtwacha. Andrew Mtwacha, switch on your mic quickly. You said yes and no. I want to hear your thinking, please. And even Chalo now. Chalo, why do people change the rules in the middle? But let's hear from Andrew. Andrew, talk to me, please. Hi, good evening. You said yes and no. Why? Your mic is on, Andrew, but we are not hearing if you are speaking.
Hello? Hello?
There you are. How are you doing, man?
I'm fine. And you?
Fine, thank you. I'm so glad to hear from you. You said yes and no. Please explain yourself.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. I would say yes because he has generated through the labor 40,000 that's going to him. So as the baker, he has earned 40,000. But in terms of profit, it's zero because the business has not had anything. Generate and maximize profit.
So has he achieved it?
To me, I'll stick to my answer. It's a yes or no.
Andrew, please don't fail the exam. Don't fail the exam. If the rule is to generate and maximize profit,
yes.
Salary is not the same thing as profit.
Okay.
Let me explain why. Because profit is when you earn more than it costs to produce. Your salary is a result, is a cost. If you think of your salary as your return, what happens when you get another employee? Because that employee also must be paid.
Exactly. True.
So is their salary part of your profit, Andrew?
No.
So is salary profit?
No.
So has James achieved rule number 1 yet?
No, not yet.
So what must he do, Andrew? What must he
bake
do?
more. To bake more,
yes.
more cake.
Good. How many?
Beyond 100 cakes.
Wonderful. Andrew, I like your thinking. Beyond 100 cakes is 101. The business has now generated 500 shillings in profit. Andrew, has James achieved rule number 1 of business?
Yes.
Guys, help Andrew he has.
No, he hasn't maximized it. No.
You didn't see part 2.
No.
He has to maximize. Now, maximize,
Yes,
I don't have enough time to explain, but it really has to do with the capacity of the business. Like in this case, James cannot produce more than his capacity to produce. So for example, his oven, the size of the oven and the time that he has. There are many factors that go into maximizing. So simply producing a profit does not mean you have achieved rule number 1. So 100, let's say his maximum in a month is 150 cakes. He has calculated that that's the number of cakes he can be able to bake. That now, my friends, and everybody in this room has to hear this, becomes the target for his business. There are so many business owners in this room who are running a business without targets. Susan, come back. You thought I forgot about you. No. So I'm with you, Susan. What are the targets for your business?
Go ahead.
What are the targets for your business?
Targets, like in terms of sales?
Yes.
To make as, maybe increase 10% over every quarter from the previous quarter sales, increase by 10% quarter on quarter, as an example.
Susan, no, I'm asking you, what are the targets for your business? Don't be general. I'm asking you.
For mine?
Yeah.
Well, mine is a young business, but the target currently is to get to revenues of 1.5 per month.
Why?
Because that will help me inch closer to this your rule number 1. I did not know that was the rule. But to my thinking, it will help me inch closer to that.
Susan, you're the one who said you're in finance. And you don't have targets. Do you know of any profitable business that functions without targets that are based on profitability? They don't exist. So I'm challenging you to
formalize them.
A projection of this kind for your business, because the projections force you to solve problems. Let me show you what I mean. In this room listening to us are employees. Hi, employees. How are you doing? When you show up at work as an employee, do you just show up and the boss comes and says, hi, people, do the best you can. Try your hardest this year. Is that what a boss will say to you? Employees, what are you given as an employee the moment you get a job? You're given what, friends? Targets. And those targets are based on projections that show that if you don't hit these targets, if James does not sell more than the cakes, 150 cakes, this will not be a profitable business. So if there's anybody who's in this room who's functioning in a business that does not have targets, I cannot help you. Because we don't know. What are you aiming for? Naitore, I didn't forget about you either. Hi. What are the targets for your business? Or have you left the room? Naitore, are you still here?
I'm still here.
Targets? What are you aiming for?
Yeah, I can't answer that.
Yeah. And so as a business, there's no drive, there's no force that is pushing you forward. James now knows. Can you see from the screen? He knows every month he must hit 150 cakes. He has to. And so he has to find where the customers are. He has to go out. So his marketing strategies have to change. James might even start thinking, watch this. Watch what happens when you actually put down numbers. James now thinks, how can I sell 150 cakes every month without fail? Which kind of customer do I need? Hey, business owners, look at the chat box. Type in the chat box, which kind of customer do you think James needs to ensure that he hits this target every month? Who suddenly becomes his market? You see what? Look what happens. Look what happens, guys. I hope you have all noticed. Please pay close attention. The moment I set the problem, you came up with the solution. Look at how beautiful that is. This is how I know it. I know for sure. I know with all my heart. All the employees in this room are busy making millions of shillings for their employers. Why? Because their employers ask them the right questions. And when your employer, your boss tells you, solve this problem, you go out and solve it. Well done. Well done. Mercy, Wamboi, I don't understand your statement. Hiya, what now? What do you mean? Mercy, switch on your mic. Something has hit you there.
I think it's a light bulb moment.
Yes.
Like when you say that, when the question is right, then the answers are automatic. I think for me
Yes.
that's very profound.
So my question is, what question have you been asking yourself? Which target have you been giving yourself? I'm not a rhetorical, I'm asking you, Mercy.
Okay, so which questions have I been? Obviously the wrong one. Yeah.
So James now says, thank you so much, Mercy. James says, I have to sell 150 cakes every week, every month. So if I get 3 clients who are buying 50 cakes every month, those 3 have hit my target. So if I have a supermarket, I have a restaurant, and I have a school that I sell 50 cakes to every month. Done. That's his entire marketing budget, is to have lunch with 3 people. James doesn't even have to be on social media. At buying ads on Meta. Not that buying ads on Meta is a bad thing. But for him, because his problem is what? Selling 150 cakes every week. That's what the issue is. So without projections, without understanding money, how money works in the business, James is in trouble. Let's finish this up. Praise the Lord. James has hit his target of 150 cakes this month. Can you see it on the screen? Here's the question. How much? Listen carefully to the question. How much did James make this month? Chat box, type, quick. Then we take questions now. How much did James make this month? I love it. I love it. I love it. Even with all the things I've been saying, guys, look in the chat box. Some people are telling me 25,000. Some people are telling me 65,000. And this is the reason for rule number 2, and that's why we end the discussion for today. Here is rule number 2 of business, as Waithaka learned it in school, in the school of hard knocks. Write it down. It's so simple. 5 words. Profit is not your money. Please write that in all caps. Somebody write that in all caps in the chat box. If you're in business, profit is not your money. This number down here, Sheila, this number down here, Mercy, belongs to who? The business. Why do you like to augment? Don't augment, just write it down. Profit is not your money. Because this profit is going to become part of the cash flows of the business that allow for him to continue the business the next month. It becomes part of the capital that is going to help him build that business further and raise capital that allows him to build and buy another oven and do other things that are going to grow this business. If he takes profit out of this business, he's making a big mistake. People are even speaking in mother tongue here in the chat box. Translations, I love it. Now, Susan, I want to show you, can I show you the saddest thing that I realized about business? Can I show you?
Yeah, sure.
Susan, so you can help your clients even as you're doing it. Eh? So let's say, God forbid, after having a profitable month like this, the next month, his sales go down to 90K. So he loses 5K this month. Okay. You know what? Because somebody had, profit is the aim of every business. We have to do profit. What? So James looks at it and he says, we are losing 5,000. Actually, I should ask everyone else. Guys, what would you do in this month where you have, thank you for everyone who has written the rule in the chat box. What would you do in this month where you lost 5,000? What do most business owners do at this point? Susan, just hold on. I'm coming to you just now. What do most business owners do at this point, guys? Thank you, David. They pay themselves less. David, how much would James pay himself? What would he do? Because this business must be profitable.
He can pay himself 30,000.
30,000. Wonderful. 30,000. Now the business is profitable. Praise the Lord. Susan, look at this now. Why is this the worst thing that James could ever do for his business? Why?
Because at some point he'll start getting maybe resentful that he's paying himself less for the work he's putting in. And then
no, don't get existential, don't get about feelings. There is a real financial problem. What has James declared at the bottom there?
A profit of 5,000.
Good. What happens in a business when there is a profit?
He'll use it because he's confusing business money and his money.
No. The 5,000.
Oh,
somebody
tax.
sees it.
Tax.
Ah.
Okay. Yeah.
The government says, well done, James. You have generated 5,000 in profit. Can we please have how much of that? What is 30%. Corporate tax rate? Can we 30%. Please have 30%? So James is paying taxes on a loss. And he paid himself less. My dear friends, in business, you only pay tax on profit. So if you're not making a profit, please declare a loss. Steve, I'm done. If guys don't understand money in business, we cannot help. So please be on the lookout, and I'll share to this forum as well. We're doing a conference in a couple of weeks around understanding money in business. And exactly what I've taught here, I want to take it to the next level because this is the most simple. This is so simple. Now I want to show you why other businesses come into this market and take over because our businesses simply are not ready. So Steve, I'm ready for any questions that guys have. Do you want to use the Q&A or do you want to use hands up? How do you want to use it? Oh, before we get there, guys, has this been useful? Have you learned something? Have you been challenged in ways that you have not been challenged before? I hope you have. But for me, I told you, when I learned this, I was like, how come no one is teaching this? So I'm going to teach it. And that's my passion in life. This is what I teach. So, dear friends, on investment, on business, I'm happy to take questions now. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Now, before you take questions, Mr. Waithaka, do you do consultancy on this?
I do.
You can share what you do now. We used to see you at Centonomy.
Those are still my good friends. That's why my life changed when I did that. Just hang on 1 second, 1 second. Just 1 second, please. Not sure if I can see.
So as it comes back, just an announcement that we normally have this every month. And what's coming up is now a parenting program, a parenting webinar. So if you would be interested in a continuation of such webinars, feel free to reach out to us. I'll be sharing a parent's WhatsApp group link in the chat box. So feel free to join if you're not in any of our communities. If you're already in one, any group of Candid Hope, you don't need to join. If you'd love to join, feel free to join so that you get updates on this. Back to you, Bwana Waithaka. What are you doing?
I'm doing this. This is why I'm in this room, because I'm trying to help people to learn and grow and build. And so I want you guys to check it out, waithakagatumia.com. Reach out to me. We can be able to have discussions. We do trainings like what I said. I am now. Sorry, somebody said what? We did what? Okay, it was by mistake. So I was saying we do classes on business. We do classes on investments as well. And as I said, in a few weeks, we're doing this a conference around the issue of money in business. And I want it to be for everyone, because we have millions of business owners in Kenya, but we are not growing wealth. And that really bothers me. So please do check out waithakagatumia.com. So individual sessions are available, but the best way is to come through one of those conferences, because a lot of work can be done in that space, and then we grow to the individual space. So please do check out waithakagatumia.com. Steve, I think now people know. So let's take questions, because now I'll be running away shortly as well.
All right. So for questions, please just raise up your hand. I give you an opportunity as we proceed. Any questions? Anybody with a question, you can raise up your hand.
Where was asked a question in the chat, a quick question. What that simple way of tracking costs, direct costs such as hairs, nail stuff, etc. I'm always shocked by business owners because in as much as we want to simplify and make it easy for ourselves, cost control is one of the vital parts of a business that's not easy. Ask Susan, who's in finance. Cost control it takes work. And so even if it's not easy to do, you must do it. And then as you do it, you'll find easier ways to go through. So I hope that helps. Maybe I check the Q&A if there's a Q&A section, but no one has put a question there. So we just use the chat, I guess.
So I see Joshua Njue.
So there's a question here. Just 1 second, Joshua. I want to answer this. Stephen Otieno is asking, then I come to you, Joshua, just 1 second. How to experience minimal taxes in business? Here's another problem, dear friends. Stop worrying about tax because tax is universal. Your primary problem is profitability. If you're profitable, tax is not a problem. In fact, the most profitable business in Kenya is one called Safaricom. They are also the highest taxpayers in Kenya. So tax is not your problem. Profit is. If you're profitable, tax takes care of itself. And because we're believers, we do what Jesus said, pay unto Caesar what is Caesar's and unto the Lord what is the Lord's. Tax is just part of it. Look, I've been on a road. I've gone to hospitals. There's security. There are policemen. Our borders are secured by the army. That's what my tax money does. And so my responsibility is to pay the tax. Now, I know we're in Kenya also, and I know people will say, but they're misusing tax. That's their problem. They will account for it before the Lord. Remember the story of the talents. The master is coming back to take an account. And for all these leaders who are stealing from their people, they will be shocked when they hear, you wicked, lazy servant, take away what they have and throw them into eternal darkness. Accounting will happen. That's their problem. My problem is what? To honor what is there. So Joshua, don't run away from taxes. Pay them. Pay what is required. But if you do so, profitability is not an issue. Not Joshua now. That was Stephen. Joshua, ask your question, please.
Yes, Waithaka. My question is, some of us are doing we are doing what we call passive investments. Now, with this kind of, first of all, are this business or you are just, mark timing? And if they are businesses, how do we then do what the rule number one, generating and maximizing profit?
Which business is this that are passive income? I really like passive.
Like now we are doing the treasury bonds, the infraction bond, the CIS.
That is not business. Those are not business. That's investment. That's a different rule. We talked about it last time. Investments are different. Investments, it's exactly what you talked about, return on investment, ROI, and you're looking to compound and grow over time. But it's not a business unless you're the one selling the bonds. So the investment bank that sold you the bond or the MMF or whatever it is, that's the business. You're just an investor. Where can one get you for an exclusive financial business? I said, waithakagatumia.com, or you can send me an email, waithaka@waithakagatumia.com. I put it in the chat, but I also showed it on the screen. So you can get in there and just send me an email directly from there. You're able to get contact. Let's chat. Just put in your details there and we can have a chat, okay? You can email me directly. That's the email, waithaka@waithakagatumia.com. Oh, but I don't do this for free. I am in what? In business. And the aim of every business is to do what? To generate and maximize profit.
All right. Any other question? Anyone? I can see something on the chat box. Oh, can somebody get a recording for the first session? Yes, if you give us your contacts, we will give you the recording. It's there. For those who are in the Candid Hope WhatsApp groups, the recording was shared there already. But again, if you go to Candid Hope YouTube channel, you'll again get the recording there. Candid Hope YouTube channel. all our webinars are uploaded there immediately after the sessions.
I've seen
There's
a question
another,
here. Mwega,
yes.
Mwega is asking, in business where you are the producer, but you don't directly determine the price of the final product, like the broiler chicken, rearing, how do you maximize on the profit? So you're describing, Mwega, you're describing what we call a commodity business. Now, commodities are things that are not differentiated. I can buy a chicken from you. I can buy a chicken from another farmer. I can buy a chicken from another farmer. I can buy oil from Saudi Arabia, or I can buy oil from Angola. Oil is oil. It's called a commodity. So the market generally sets the price for commodities. Okay. So in a commodity business, scale is everything. At what scale of selling does the profit margin kick in? And it's very much like James's example, because James will always have a loss if he sells less than 100 cakes. So for you, you need to see how many broilers must I sell to cover all the costs of running this chicken business, including me, the chicken rearer. I hope that's useful. You saw another question, Steve?
Oh, yes, there's a question by Carol. Let me see whether I can. Or Carol, do you want to? Oh, yeah, I see it. It's lost again. Yeah, can we increase the price of James cakes to maximize profit?
Where is Carol? Carol, switch on your mic. Steve, you see how I do my classes. I'm so sorry. People accuse me of attacking them. No, I just want to hear from Carol. Carol, hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
How much should we change the price for James's cake?
1,500.
1,500. Okay, good.
But at the same time, also make as many cakes.
That's okay.
Make the same number of cakes, 150.
There's no problem. Even if you can see what the profit does, even as you go there. Yeah. So aim for that. Okay. This looks good, right? But Carol, I have a question for you. You are also a consumer in as much as you're a producer. Carol?
Yes.
What's your favorite takeout food? Like, is it Galitos, Pizza Inn? Which one? Which one do you like?
Pizza Inn.
You like Pizza Inn? Okay. So you went into Pizza Inn today, and the pizza that you love is 1,000 bob. Then you come tomorrow, and the same pizza that you love is now 1,500. What happens? What will you do?
I'll go to Galitos.
Good. So price increase is one of the ways to increase profitability. But you have to do so in such a way that you don't alienate your customer, because the customers must be willing to pay. The customer must be willing to pay. So yes, you can increase the price, but are the customers going to buy, or will fewer customers buy? Somebody was asking for my email address. There it is on the screen. Carol, you tell me. So what must we do? What can James do now? So he has to test to see if customers are willing to buy. In fact, there are some case studies that have shown that an increase in the price actually increases demand, because people start seeing that this is a more valuable product than it was before. So especially for luxury products, like even takeaway food. So there's an example that was given about KFC in South Africa. They were selling one of their packages for a lower price. No one was buying it. So this marketing consultant came and said, just increase the price. No one is buying it anyway. Increase the price and see what happens. Then they increase the price. It becomes, oh, it's now luxurious. Oh, it's special. And people bought more. So not that you can't, but just be very aware that people are price sensitive. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Steve, I'm tired. I'll take one more question and then we close. And then I'll send you details for the conference later on, in a couple of weeks later on this year, so that everyone can be able to come.
Okay.
And we go down in detail.
Yeah, I see a question there. I don't know whether you're able to see the chat box. The last question there.
Please read it for me.
So a follow-up question on Mwega's question.
Yep.
You don't determine the market price for the boilers. The brokers take advantage despite... Sorry, it's running away. Okay, there you go now. So you don't determine the market price for the boilers. The brokers take advantage despite maximizing on the numbers, and the feeds are quite expensive as well. How do I make more profit in such cases? Majorly, the brokers in the main markets are your customers, and you can't delay sales.
Yep. So let's do that quickly here. So let's change this from cakes to broilers. So a broiler. One broiler will go at what? Who was giving me that? Who asked that question? They should help me. Mso?
Mso.
Or Mwega. Mwega, you can help me out. How much does a broiler go for? When you sell it to the broker, because the broker is your customer. 400. Okay. How much? Now, this one will take a bit of time because to work out how much it costs to raise that broiler takes a bit of... But you can do an estimate. You can do an estimate per broiler, maybe it is. So the margins are quite tight, yeah? So let's say per broiler, it's 300, okay? Or maybe even 350, okay? So your margins per broiler, you can see if I sell only one, I only make 50 bob, yeah? So obviously, if I can sell it for more than 400, it will make, but as you said, I'm not so much in control of that sale price. The maths is still the same. It now becomes an issue of numbers to hit that target. So I don't know if 500 will hit it. No. So 600 maybe. No. 700. No. 800. Yes.
1,000 will do.
800 is break even. So at 800, you have brought in how much? 320,000 in revenue, 40,000 in gross profit, but you have made nothing. Oh, I forgot James. Oh, no. James is his salary is not 30. We had reduced it. It's 40K.
It was 40.
Yeah, so you are saying 1,000, isn't it? Yeah, good. Thanks, you caught that very quickly. This means that selling less than 1,000 broilers is a loss-making business if this is the maths that's in place. That's why I said for commodities, scale is the factor. That's why Kenya has oil, for example. We have oil deposits in Kenya, but nobody wants to sell that oil. Why? Because the amount of oil required to sell in order for it to be profitable is not available, and it's too hard to get. But in countries like Nigeria, Angola, Saudi Arabia, they have so much oil, they're able to scale it up such that the profitability is high. So when you're dealing with commodities, it's a scale issue. Steve, I'm tired. Can I go?
I don't see any other question. Unless somebody has a burning question before you
I can
give
see
us
James
your...
has asked the question here. He has said, what if you apply the 1% rule where your target is to generate 1% more profit than the last month to your business? Good. Because the aim of every business is to generate and maximize profit. That's all. Keep going. Guys, it has been a pleasure. God bless you all. Have a wonderful week. And I'll tell details about the conference that's coming up, and all of you should come. We'll have a great time there and learn some more detail. Get some templates that will help you. I know how many people who are in the service business who are shouting at me, Waithaka, but what about me? I sell my services. What do I do? Don't worry, I'll answer the question in that conference. Please do come. And God bless you all. Take care, guys. Check out waithakagatumia.com. Waithaka@waithakagatumia.com is my email. Let's chat. But it's not free. I'm in business to generate and maximize what? Profit. It'll be online, guys, so you'll see it. God bless, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right. Thank you so much. Irene NM. Please don't mute. You'll just give a small vote of thanks, then you pray for us.
Thanks, Waithaka. That was an amazing session. I've listened to you before, but this was good. It was basic, but I still learned a few things. And hey, I listened to you when you're in Centenomy. Now you are on your own. We shall look for you. So, asante sana. Shall we pray? Father, in Jesus' name, I come before you and I praise your holy name that you give us this time to be able to listen to this talk. I pray indeed that what we have learned will stick with us and we'll be able to implement, at least from the beginning, for a start, so that we can be able to see what kind of experiences that we have and how we can really motivate ourselves to do much better and find innovative ways on ensuring that we truly can make a profit and at the same time pay ourselves when we are running small businesses. Thank you for this opportunity. We praise you and we ask you to give us a great night. In Jesus' mighty name, I'm praying and believing. Amen.